Math lesson number 13. Factoring ax squared plus bx plus c, where a is not equal to 1. When the coefficient a in the ax squared plus bx plus c is not 1, there are more possibilities for factoring to consider. Meaning to say, this is more complicated to factor than when a is equal to 1. So let's have the first example. Factor 3x squared plus 5x plus 2. So as you can see, a is 3. That one, 3. So first solution, the first method, we have the factoring by grouping method. First, get the product of the first and last terms. So the first term is 3x squared. The last term is 2. Now we get the product. 3x squared times 2 is 6x squared. Next, find two numbers whose product is 6x squared and whose sum is 5x. 5x came from the middle term, 5x. Now, factors of 6x squared, we have 3x and 2x because the sum of that or of those terms is 5x. So 3x times 2x, product is 6x squared. Therefore, the two numbers or the two terms are 2x and 3x. Now, we're not yet done. We need to arrange the terms and apply factoring by grouping. So, let's go back to the original trinomial. 3x squared plus 5x plus 2 is equal to 3x squared plus 2x plus 3x. This one, the 2x, 3x, 3x. And then after that, we group. So that one, the first group. This one is the second group. Again, in grouping, we need to consider if the first group has a common monomial factor and the other group also has a common monomial factor also. Now, in this case, we have the common monomial factor here is x. The remaining factor is 3x plus 2. On the other side, the common monomial factor, of course, it's 1. And the remaining factor, 3x plus 2. Now, you have 3x plus 2 here and 3x plus 2. So that's the common monomial factor. Getting that or extracting that, the remaining factor now is x, that one, x, plus 1. So x plus 1. So the factored form of 3x squared plus 5x plus 2 is 3x plus 2 times x plus 1. That's the first method, factoring by grouping method. Now, let's factor number 1 again using trial and error method. First, we need to factor the first and the last terms. So the first term, 3x squared, factors are 3x and x. Or 3x times x. And then we have 2, the last term, that's 2 times 1. Now write the possible pairs of factors. First, we have 3x and 2. So 3x plus 2, x and 1, x plus 1. So that's the first pair. Next, let's have the second pair. 3x and 1, 3x plus 1, and then x plus 2, x plus 2. Now after that, we need to get the middle term of this using FOIL method. So we have 3x times 1, that one, that's 3x. 2 times x, that's 2x. Adding that, we have 5x. So, we got already the correct middle term. Now, the second pair, 3x plus 1 times x plus 2. We have 3x times 2 that one, which is 6x. 1 times x, x. So the sum is 7x. And that's a wrong middle term. Therefore, we need to consider the first one, 3x plus 2 times x plus 1. And that's the factored form. Number 2. Factor 6x squared minus 19x plus 3. So the value of a here is 6. That one. Now, let's have the factoring by grouping method. So get the product of the first and last terms. 6x squared times 3, which is equal to 18x squared. Find two numbers whose product is 18x squared. That's the result. And whose sum is negative 19x. Negative 19x came from the middle term, the original trinomial. The middle term there is negative 19x. Now, factors of 18x squared are negative 18x and negative x. Why negative? In order to have a sum of negative also, which is negative 19x. Now, negative 18x times negative x is positive 18x squared. Therefore, the two numbers are negative 18x and negative x. Now, we will use this in factoring by grouping. So, arrange the terms and apply factoring by grouping. So, 6, that one, the original one, is equal to 6x squared minus 18x. That's 18x minus x. So, we split negative 19x into negative 18x minus x, which came actually from this. And then plus 3, plus 3. Now we group 6x squared minus 18x. That's the first group. That one. Now negative, we extract negative. That's why the second group is x minus 3. Because if we distribute negative, that's negative x. Negative times negative, positive 3. So we extract negative in order to isolate the second group. Now, the common monomial factor in the first group is 6x. The remaining factor is x minus 3. Here, we have 1, the common monomial factor, and then x minus 3, the remaining factor. So you have already x minus 3 here and x minus 3 on the first group. In the first group. Now, getting the common monomial factor between both terms, this term and this term, the common monomial there is x minus 3. That one. Now the remaining factor, 6x minus 1. 6x minus 1. And that's the factored form of number 2. Now we will use trial and error method to to factor number 2. First, factor the first and last terms. 6x squared is equal to 2x times 3, or 6x times x. Next, we have 3, the last term. That's negative 3 times negative 1. Why we use negative here? Why not 3? Why not positive 3 and positive 1? As you can see, the middle term is negative. Okay, so we will use negative 3 and negative 3 because the product of that, both negative, is positive 3. Take note of that. Now, let's have the first pair. 2x minus 1, 2x, then minus 1. 3x minus 3. So 3x and then minus 3, the first pair. Now, getting the middle term of that, 2x times negative 3, negative 6. Negative 1 times 3x, ito yan, negative 1 times 3x. We have negative 9x. That's the sum. Negative 6x plus negative 3x, negative 9x. Now, let's have 2x minus 3 times 3x minus 1. The second pair, 2x times negative 1, that one, negative 3x, negative 3 times 3x, that one. Now, simplifying, we have negative 2x plus negative 9x, which is negative 11x. Take note, we need to find negative 19x as the sum of, the sum as the sum, because that's the middle term, negative 19x. So next pair, we have 6x minus 3 times x minus 1. Came from 6x and then minus 3, then x minus 1. So we have 6x times negative 1, that one, negative 3 times x, that one. Simplifying, negative 6x plus negative 3x, we have negative 9x, which is also wrong. Next, last pair, 6x minus 1, this one, times x minus 3, that one. So 6x times negative 3 plus negative 1 times x. Simplifying, negative 18x plus negative x, which is negative 19x. And that is the middle term that we want. Therefore, we will consider this 6x minus 1 times x minus 3. And that's the factored form of number 2. Number 3. Factor 3x squared minus 4x minus 7. In this example, a is equal to 3. Now we will use factoring by grouping method. First, get the product of the first and last terms, 3x squared times negative 7, which is equal to negative 21x squared. Now we need to find two numbers whose product is negative 21x squared, but the sum must be negative 4x. So factors of negative 21x squared, we have negative 7x and 3x. Why negative 7 and positive 3? In order to have a sum of negative 4x. Therefore, the two numbers are negative 7x and 3x. We will use that in factoring by grouping. So we have the original one, 3x squared minus 4x minus 7 is equal to 3x squared plus 3x. That one, the 3x, minus 7x minus 7. Now, why we use 3x first before 7x? Because if we will use 7x, 3x squared minus 7x has no common factor common to the second group, which is 3x minus 7. Therefore, we will use 3x first before negative 7x. So as you can see, 3x squared plus 3x, that's the first group. This group has a common factor of 3x and the remaining factor of x plus 1. Now the remaining terms, 7x and negative 7x minus 7 will be changed into negative quantity 7x plus 7, in which the common monomial factor is 7 and the remaining factor is x plus 1. Take note, we need to have, or the goal of this is for us to have the same remaining factor, x plus 1 and x plus 1. So that same remaining factor will serve as the common monomial factor, so x plus 1. That one, x plus 1. Now, the remaining factor now is 3x minus 7. 3x minus 7. And that's the factored form of number 2. Next, we have number 4. Factor 4x squared plus 16x minus 9. So here in this example, a is equal to 4. Again, the first step, get the product of the first and last terms, 4x squared minus 9, which is equal to negative 36x squared. Now, you need to think of two numbers again, or two terms, whose product is negative 36x squared and whose sum is 16x, because that's the middle term, 16x. Now, in this case, we have 18x and negative 2x. So, 18x times negative 2x is negative 36x squared. 18x plus negative 2x, that one is 16x. Therefore, those are the terms that we want. Now, arranging the terms and apply factoring by grouping, let's have the original one. That one is equal to 4x squared plus negative 2x. I used negative 2x first before 18x for us to have the same remaining factor. That's our goal. Now, we have 18x minus 9. Take note, negative 2x plus 18x is just like equal to 16x. Now, let's have grouping. 4x squared minus 2x, that one. So, plus minus became minus. Now, 18x minus 9 is 18x minus 9. Now, what's the common monomial factor in the first group? So, we have 2x. The remaining factor is 2x minus 1. In the second group, 18x minus 9, the common there is 9. And the remaining factor is 2x minus 1. Take note, we need to have the same remaining factor. So 2x minus 1 in the first group, 2x minus 1 in the second group. That's our goal. Now, after getting that, that will be our common monomial factor. Now, 2x minus 1. And the remaining factor now is 2x plus 9. 2x plus 9. So, the factored form of number 4 is 2x minus 1 times 2x plus 9. Next, we have factor 10ax squared minus 26axy minus 12ay squared. Now, we will use again factoring by grouping method. First, as you can see, there is a here, a and a. And all the coefficients 10, 26, and 12 are divisible by 2. Therefore, the common monomial factor among those terms is 2a. That one, 2a. Now, extracting 2a, we have 10ax squared divided by 2a, 5x squared. Negative 26axy divided by 2a, we have negative 13xy. Negative 12ay squared divided by 2a is 6y squared. Now, as you can see, this is a trinomial in which the value of a is 5. That one. Now, we'll start again with getting the product of the first and last terms. 5x squared times negative 6y squared. Negative 30x squared y squared. We need to find two terms whose product is negative 30x squared y squared and whose sum is negative 13xy. So negative 13xy came from this, not here. Now, factors of negative 30x squared y squared, we have negative 15xy and 2xy. Why is that? Because the sum of negative 15xy and 2xy is negative 13xy. That will be our middle term. Therefore, the two numbers are negative 15xy and 2xy. Now, we're not yet done. So, since the two numbers are negative 15xy and 2xy, we will use that in factoring by grouping. So, first, 2a times 5x squared plus negative 15xy, that one, plus 2xy, 2xy. Take note, negative 15xy plus 2xy is just equal to negative 13xy, that one. So we just split negative 13xy. Next, we group 5x squared minus 15xy. That's the first group, that one. And then the second group, 2xy minus 6y squared. That's the second group. Okay. Next, we get the common monomial factor in the first group. 5x squared. So that's 5x squared has 5x, 15xy has also 5x. Or 5x squared is divisible by 5x, 15xy is also divisible by 5x. Now, after dividing 5x, we have x minus 3y as the remaining factor. Here, in the second group, 2y is the common monomial factor. And after extracting that, the remaining factor is x minus 3y. And that's our goal, to have the same remaining factor. So you have here x minus 3y in the first group, then x minus 3y in the second group. Now, extracting the common monomial factor, x minus 3y, that one, and we copy also 2a, the remaining factor now is 5x plus 2y plus 2y. So the factored form of number 5 is 2a times x minus 3y times 5x plus 2y.